We are now streaming on YouTube. This is a meeting of the 9th Judicial District Nominating Commission. We are filling we are tasked with finding nominees to send to the governor, created by the vacancy when Judge Joe Dickinson sent his letter in saying that he would retire on September 18, 2021. So that's his retirement date. It's a Saturday. Our goal is to get someone in there as soon as we can so that we don't get a backlog of cases, obviously, but we don't have control over the governor. We'll do what we can on our end to get the names to the governor, and we'll go from there. I'm going to start with an introduction. I sat in on the last commission meeting for magistrate judge, and Justice Wilson ran that meeting because I was very new. So I'm Justice Melissa Standridge, and the 9th Judicial Nominating Commission is in my area, and that is why I am the chair. I am a non-voting chair. So I kind of procedurally do things, but I don't vote. So you need to know that. The brains behind the operation is Shelby Hardifer. You can see her, she'll wave, there we go. Shelby is my judicial executive assistant, and without her, I would be nowhere. So you have gotten some emails from her and trying to set these up, this meeting up today, actually. And in fact, we are going to have the applications sent to her. They'll be sent to the Judicial Center, and she will be collecting the applications to ease up a little bit on number one, the district court, so they don't have to accept the applications, and to ease up for me, Shelby's just right in the office, and she'll be doing all the collecting, and then once they're collected, she'll be disseminating them to all of you. So have you guys worked long enough with each other that you know who you all are? Or should we have introductions for anybody that's watching on YouTube? What do you think? Why don't we just go through and introduce yourselves and just say whether you're a lawyer elected position or whether you were appointed by the governor. Amy, let's start with you.
My name is Amy Bauer, and I'm lawyer elected position, McPherson County.
Okay, so she's a lawyer. Chip?
I'm Chip Westfall, Chairman of the Harvey County Commission and retired Kansas Highway Patrol.
Okay, great. Harris?
Harris Terry. I'm appointed by the board a number of years ago. I'm a retired sheriff and retired county commissioner.
Janet?
Kenny, I am a United States court reporter. I was a former court reporter for the 9th Judicial District, and I am not a lawyer.
Okay. John?
John Robb, I'm a lawyer elected representative from Harvey County.
Great. Ann?
Good morning. I'm a lawyer elected representative from McPherson County in private practice.
Mike?
Mike Andros, retired Kansas Highway Patrol, appointed by the county.
Okay. Tom?
Yes, I'm Tom Adrian. I'm an elected attorney from Harvey County.
Okay, great. So this makes up the 9th Judicial District Nominating Commission. I have a short outline that Shelby has made for me to follow since this is my first time. I do know from last time, Tom, hate to call you out, but you were the secretary last time. And I don't know whether that rolls into, as long as you're on the commission, you're the secretary, or whether that is something that we vote on each time. So Does anybody want to be secretary? The role of the secretary is to take down minutes, just generally, nothing in detail, of our meetings. And I think I read the manual. Shelby, anything else that the secretary does?
Minutes, I think, are the most important task of the secretary.
Okay.
Yeah. Justice Stanridge, before we go any further, can I call into the conference call line to see if anybody's waiting to make any public comments?
Yes,
Okay, I'll just do that real quick.
thank you. And everybody can think about if they want to be the secretary or if we're going to cajole Tom into being the secretary.
Justice Stanridge, Tom did such an outstanding job and he set the bar so high last time. I'm not sure that any of us could approach that. So I would move that we appoint Tom as secretary.
Okay, we're going to put that motion on the table and we're just going to see whether or not, it looks like Shelby might have somebody on the line.
Still getting there.
Okay. We wouldn't want them to miss this motion.
Shelby Hardifer.
Thank you. To start or join your conference, press 1. To change default conference options, you will now be placed into conference. After joining the call, to record the conference for those who may miss this call, or for future playback,
Can you guys hear
press
that?
*2.
Yes.
Okay.
Hello, do I have someone on the line? Hello? I'm going to go ahead and leave the conference call line open in
Okay.
case someone joins during our meeting.
Okay, and where we were was deciding who would be the secretary to take the minutes down for our commission. And there is a motion on the table. John Robb made a motion that Tom continue to be the secretary. I guess I'm going to say first, Tom, what do you think?
Well, I'm sorry that anyone joined that late didn't hear John's introduction of me, and I always agree with John. So, so I will humbly accept.
Okay. So is there a second on the motion?
Justice Standridge, Harvey
Yes.
County and Newton being a railroad town, I would be derelict in seconding Mr. Robb's flowery nomination of Tom.
Wait, so that's not, you would be derelict if you seconded it? Or if you didn't second it?
I have seconded the motion.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, let's, all in favor, raise your hand. I'm non-voting. Oh, a unanimous. Tom, in all seriousness, thank you so much. If you need help in any way, we do have Shelby. I can see she's frantically taking notes. So if you need any administrative support staff, please feel free to reach out to Shelby.
All right.
Because I know there are templates. I think they are in the Judicial Commission nominating handbook. Do you all have a copy of the handbook?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay. So the biggest thing we need to do here, especially given everyone is really busy on this commission, and we so appreciate you dedicating your time when you are so busy, but we need to establish a timeline. And Judge Dickinson would like this to be sooner rather than later. He is contemplating maybe trying to find someone to sit as you know, a temporary judge. It's called a pro tem, so that the district doesn't fall behind on cases, but we're not sure how that will go. So the sooner that we can get this done, the better. We do deal with a timeline, and that timeline is, Shelby, tell me if I'm right, from the moment the vacancy notice goes out until the time we have to have 3 to 5 names to the governor is 60 days. Is that right?
I was under the impression it was 45.
It's 45 days. I was wrong.
Yes. The governor has 60 days to appoint the
Okay.
pick.
Okay, so we only have 45 days from when the notice goes out. I personally would suggest that we get the notice out as soon as possible. Shelby is willing to get that out tomorrow, once I send you a copy of the proposed notice. If everyone approves, that notice will go out to all active attorneys statewide. The reason it goes out to all active attorneys statewide is that the statute says that someone who lives in the district, you have to live in the district to be a judge. But you only have to live in the district once you're sworn in. So if there was someone, let's say in Garden City, that was interested and was willing to move to the district, that person could be considered, as long as when they were sworn in, they lived in the district. So if we post the vacancy tomorrow, and there is something in between right now and tomorrow, which is that we have to have Chief Justice Lukert. Shelby, help me out here.
She has prepared a letter addressed to you, letting you know that you could go ahead and proceed with filling the vacancy of Judge Dickinson. That letter is prepared and ready to be sent to you. She has approved it.
So actually, I was wrong. It's between that letter and when you guys pick the final 3 to 5, that's the 45 days. So we want the notice to go out as soon as that, right after that letter goes out, so that we can utilize the 45 days. Usually we give 30 days for.
Mr. Westfall, do you have a question?
Yeah, I want to go back to the residency to clarify. Does the nominee have to take residence as stated in the district or stated in the county of the opening?
Okay, so I looked that up yesterday, and the statute says that, or it's, yeah, I think it's a statute. It says that for a magistrate judge, you have to live in the county.
Okay.
But for a district judge, you just have to live in the district.
Okay, thank you very much.
Right. So how far apart is everything? If somebody, okay, so Judge Dickinson, he's in, is he in Harvey or McPherson County?
Harvey,
Right.
and they're about 30 minutes apart.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess someone who lives in McPherson County, they would be fine. They would just have to schlep, back and forth, but that's what the statute says. But a magistrate judge, that's different. That has to be in the county. That's a very good question, Chip. Are there any other questions? Shelby, thanks for letting me know someone had a question.
Well, I would comment on that also, though it has, and this is tradition and not, I don't think it's written down any place other than habit, which is Harvey County has a slightly higher population and is normally as the residents of 2 of the judges have been Harvey County and 1 judge in McPherson County. There's no requirement that I know of that that's the case other than tradition. So.
Right. Well, yeah, I'm only here to kind of advise you what the statute says. So, but that's very good input. Anybody else? Chip, you have something else? No? Just adjusting your camera. So normally what we do is according to Shelby, there's a 30-day period for people to get their materials together. So you send out, that Justice Lukert sends out the letter to you guys. We get out a notice that same day. And then, and Justice Lukert's letter is what triggers the 45 days. And then we usually give 30 days for people to get their application filled out, get their letters of recommendation in order, whatever else they need to do. I don't remember whether you have to, for me anyway, I had to get a certified copy of my transcripts. And so we give 30 days. And then as soon as that deadline hits, Shelby will mail to you hard copies, but she can also scan them in if you want, but she'll mail to you hard copies overnight. She'll overnight them. So whatever the deadline is, she'll overnight them to you. And then we'll have a second conference call to talk about, what is the second conference call for?
The second conference call is just, we're going to let the commission know, of course, by then they'll have received everyone's application that I send out. So we can go over the candidates that we have received. If there's anything that jumps out right away that makes you think maybe a person isn't qualified, that can be something that we discuss. Other than that, it's really just kind of assigning reference checks, who's going to call who for what applicant. And that's all we really discuss at that second
And we set the
conference.
interview schedule. Do we set, or do we do that?
We do that today. Yeah, we'll set
The
the
timing.
the timing.
10
Yeah,
o'clock,
Yeah.
10:30.
depending on how many people we have, we could go through and see where we can fit them in or how long we want to take per interview, etc.
Okay. All right. So if we say tomorrow is the day that Justice Lupert's letter goes out, and tomorrow is the day that Shelby will send out the posting, and there'll be, does Lisa do a press release?
She does.
So there'll be a press release coming from Lisa Taylor out of the Office of Judicial Administration. And that press release will go to newspapers and the Kansas Bar Association. And I mean, it goes out statewide. And it will be emailed to everybody. An email of the notice will go out to everybody. So in addition to media, all lawyers who have a license in Kansas, it will be emailed to them, the notice will. And you'll be able to pick up the application at in Harvey and McPherson County. If you want to go to the clerk's office, Shelby is going to make sure that they have copies of, the application or the questionnaire, I think they call it. Also, you'll be able to access, or applicants will be able to access, an electronic copy through the Kansas Judicial Branch website. And if someone wants to walk into the Judicial Center in Topeka and go to the clerk's office, they would also be able to pick up an application there. So all of that, Shelby's ready to go on all of that. And so that would all happen tomorrow. So if we take 30 days from there, it actually, it hits a weekend. So we were thinking it would be good to have the applications due on Monday, August 30th by noon. Monday, August 30th by noon. And that actually, 30 days would be August 28th, which would be Saturday. So instead of making it the 27th on Friday, I mean, we could make it the 27th if you wanted the weekend to look over them. Or we could do it Monday, August 30th by noon to give the applicants more time. I have no preference. We're going to do it at noon, whatever day we do it. So Shelby has time to be in the office and overnight all the applications to you. So is there a preference about that, whether it should be the Friday before, which would be 29 days? So August 28th, Friday at noon, or Monday, August 30th by noon? Let me hear from everybody. Would you rather have an extra weekend to look through them, or? Because after that, we only have 15 days to do background checks, do interviews, review applications, do background checks, and then do interviews.
I guess my preference, Tom, my preference probably would be on the Friday as opposed to the Monday, but it's not a big thing with me. And surely, if they're interested, they're going to have their applications in prior to that.
Any objection to making it on Friday, August 28th at noon? Shelby, does that work for you?
Yeah, that is fine, Justice, but I believe that Friday's the 27th.
Yes.
Oh, well, my math is not good because I wasn't looking at a calendar. I was just trying to subtract. So thank you. Friday, August 27th at noon. Shelby, are you available that day to
I am.
overnight everything?
I am.
Okay, and if you could overnight it for Saturday delivery, that way that everyone will have the extra time,
Will do.
okay? Okay. All right, so then we're gonna have this second conference call. And that conference call is where we're gonna split up, as Shelby reminded me, we are gonna be splitting up beyond, with the 8 of you, depending, we could get 4 applicants, we could get 20 applicants. But that's where we split up and you guys make the phone calls to references and really to anybody that you could call anybody. You could call judges that this person has appeared in front of. Anybody that you want to call to check out opposing counsel, whatever you want to do. So the question is going to be, I am unavailable the week of the 5th because is that right, Monday? Because that's court week.
The week of the 13th is court
Oh, it's
week.
court. Okay.
But yeah, we run into Labor Day on the 6th, so the week before.
Okay. So Shelby and I were thinking if you had availability, well, now that we're doing the Monday, okay.
We could even try to push that conference call just a little bit sooner. I think I'd propose the 2nd or the 3rd late in the afternoon. But if I'm gonna overnight everything and have it there by Saturday, maybe even we still have to give time for background checks, I guess. So maybe stick with the 2nd or the 3rd if possible. Unless that doesn't work for people.
Right. Okay. So as it stands right now, I'm unavailable on August 30th and September 1st. So let's try it. Are Thursdays or Fridays better? Well, why don't we just throw out the 2nd and 3rd and people tell me when they are unavailable on the 2nd or 3rd. Oh, this is great. Okay. So
Did you say something? You were on mute.
I answered a call. Sorry. Said I can't talk to you.
The 2nd of September, I would be unavailable in the morning.
Okay. Okay. Now I'm kind of a person, that usually likes to make a 4 o'clock call because that way I can work during the day. Is 4 o'clock good, or is it better to do over the noon hour, or what's good for you guys?
I think 4 o'clock works fine on either Thursday, or I would prefer, I guess, Thursday rather than Friday.
Okay. Is everyone available Thursday, September 2nd at 4 p.m.?
I have a board meeting that starts at 5:30 that day that I have to attend, but
What about 3 p.m.?
I'm okay with that.
3 p.m.?
Yeah.
Okay. So Thursday, September 2nd at 3 p.m. we'll have our second conference call. You'll have had an opportunity of you'll have 5 days to kind of look over the applications, get familiar with them, and then we'll split up the investigation part. And then we have to decide when to have interviews. So what's our drop dead date, Shel?
I believe it's September 10th.
Okay. So September 10th is our drop dead date. So do you want to go with September 10th? What does everybody look like on September 10th? For interviews? I mean, we're not going to get more, I mean, we're not going to have 2 days of interviews, right?
That would depend on the number of applicants, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
We can also control that if we got a whole bucket full of applicants, we could shorten the interview process down. I think we
Right,
can
that's a
probably
good
handle it in one day.
Yeah. Okay. Shelby, you think that's okay? Okay. So September 10th, does everybody have the whole day available on September 10th?
I'm actually scheduled to be in trial, but if you give me a minute, I can check and see if the status of that case is actually still going or what the
Oh, sure.
situation is.
Go
Let me
check, yeah.
please.
So I'm just, while Janet is out checking that, the next thing on the agenda is to talk about whether we want to do the interviews by Zoom or in person. So just have that in the back of your mind, thinking about that. And we'll talk about it after Janet comes back.
Okay, and looking at my schedule, I am going to be in trial that entire week. So I don't know that I'll have any availability that week.
That's the week of Labor Day.
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
I mean, Justice, we can go out past that 45 days. We just have to get permission from the chief, which I don't think will be a problem.
okay. But the problem is that I've got court week the whole next week.
Would the week of September 20th work on your calendar, Justice, any of those days? Maybe not Wednesday, but 21st or 22nd?
Administrative conference is the 22nd.
21st or 23rd, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm available the 21st and the 23rd.
I have a conflict on the 23rd.
Tuesday, September 21st. Does anyone have a conflict for Tuesday, September 21st? Amy
Yes.
and Chip, both, and
Yes,
Tom.
we have commission. Our commission meeting is on the morning of the 21st.
Okay.
My conflict is in the morning as well.
Yeah, but I think we need a whole day.
So
If we
that's
did,
only-
what about September 8th? I mean, I'm sorry, Janet's in trial all week.
Yeah, and there's only 2 federal reporters here in Wichita. I could do some more digging if that 10th actually works for everybody else. We have a problem getting contract reporters in, but I don't know if the other reporter for Judge Melgren would be available. I just would need some more time to ferret that out. I hate to push it off and wait any longer than what we have to, so.
Is it criminal or civil?
It's a civil trial that's supposed to last 7 days, so we would be in the middle of it. It starts that Wednesday after Labor Day.
Okay. Oh, it starts the Wednesday after Labor Day?
It starts the 8th, September 8th.
Yeah, and September 7th is a Jewish holiday for me. So I don't work on that day.
What does the 20th look like? Did somebody have a conflict? I missed that. It's a Monday.
I actually have a presentation at noon.
Okay.
That I may, it got canceled last year because of COVID, and she scheduled me like 8 months in advance. So that is not going to work for me. So I guess, Jana, there's another court reporter that works for like Judge Brooms or no?
So I actually work for Judge Broom. She works for Judge Malgren. We do have a pool of reporters in Kansas City. So it's possible. I mean, I would almost say, let's schedule for the 10th and see if I can work around it. And even if that means getting a contract reporter in perhaps. And, depending upon what COVID does, we may or may not be in trial in September anyway. So.
Right.
I think if we would schedule it for the 10th, I will endeavor to work around it and make myself
And
available.
if absolutely worst comes to worst, I think we only have to have a quorum, right, Shelby?
Correct.
So I would hate for you to miss it, but let's go ahead since September 10th is good for everybody else. And then Jana, if you could, if you need help, one of my best friends is Julie Robinson. I don't know if that's kind
Justice, you froze up.
I'm good. I have a question. If Jana can't make it, can she submit questions to us?
I believe so, Chip. I don't think there would be anything wrong with that. I'm just trying to get Justice Standridge back on here.
Okay.
Going to host a skip if we have a in person.
Yeah, Uncle Butch, I think we can. We're using the big community room downstairs and we just put a 60 days ago, put all kinds of cameras and sound and all that into it and screens. So I'm sure if I can, I'll book the room as soon as we're done and we can decide later, but I'll hold that room for us.
Not, they did redo our county commission room with the same facilities, I think.
I can have our public information officer, we refer to him as the floor director, so he can man the system for us.
Okay.
You know, my preference would be to meet in person if at all possible.
Yeah.
I just think that's better.
I agree with you, Thomas.
I agree. Even if we have to wear masks or ask people to, it's better than Zoom, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Welcome back. Yep. Frozen again. I think we need to increase the judicial budget to improve technology.
Yeah, it looks like she's having some internet connection issues. Sorry about this, guys.
Problem. All of this is part of why we need to do this in person.
Technology is good sometimes, but other times it can cause some problems.
You're on mute.
My internet keeps going out. So I'm trying to, in case it goes out again, we're almost done. Okay, so we're gonna go with September 10th, all day, okay? Before my internet goes out again, let's just try to, while you were gone, Jana, we talked about the last item on the agenda, which was, should we hold interviews in person or by Zoom? And if we hold them in person, where will we hold the interviews?
We discussed that a bit in your absence.
Oh, good.
I think the general preference that I read was that we don't want to do it in person, and probably in the Harvey County Courthouse in what's called the community room, or Chip, whatever the room, the basement there, whatever that's called. So, and it's technologically equipped.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, Shelby, will you be in charge of contacting the clerk at the Harvey County Courthouse and see if we can reserve a room for that day?
Chip's
I'll
already
do it.
done that, so
Oh.
we'll do that.
I will do it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chip.
Thank you, Chip.
It
And
treated like
can I
a
ask again,
cottage there,
what
so-
was the name of that room?
It's called the community room.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, so tomorrow, Chief Justice Lukertz, you'll probably get in your email the letter from Chief Justice Lukert signed by her saying you now are anointed to try to fill this position. Applications will be due Friday, October 27 by noon.
August
our-
27th, Justice. August.
What did I say?
October, I
September.
think.
I think I'm off the pits because my internet went out. Well, Shelby, why don't you go over I'm just gonna
Okay.
bow out. You
Okay,
go over the
I'll
timeline.
just start again.
Okay.
The notice of the vacancy is going to be posted tomorrow. It will be posted by the end of the day, July 29th, and it will go out to all statewide active attorneys. The application nomination forms will be due Friday, August 27th by noon to me here at the Judicial Center. And I will go ahead and get those overnighted to all of you guys for that stuff to be there by Saturday. We will hold a conference call the following week on September 2nd at 3 o'clock. And then the interviews are going to be scheduled for Friday, September 10th, beginning at 9 a.m.
Okay. And then I did want to say, I'm going to go ahead and send you guys, after this call is over, the application that is generally used. And since the letter is not going out till tomorrow, if you could take a quick look at that and, and reply to everybody if there's anything you wanted added or taken out or anything like that. Keeping in mind that all of our emails are subject to the Open Records Act. So normally, like I would put like a little smiley face, good to see you, just make sure it's all business, I propose we add this question or something like that, so that we can get that done. And then, or do you want to just go with what we went with last time? Do you guys want to see the application?
I'm fine with whatever the application happens to say, the one we used last time or a new one or whatever someone has used before. I think they all assemble resumes and we do, at least I do most of my evaluation off the resumes rather than the questions. And then I've talked to lawyers and other folks to see.
What I just thought of, John, is that the one we're using is in the manual. Okay, so
Great.
So yeah, it's in the manual. I just remembered. Okay. And then are there any other matters other business that anyone wants to talk about?
Yeah, this Tom, I had some question last time as to whether our notes are subject, the notes that I take here on the tablet are subject to open records. And I'd like to get that clarified. I think the instruction was that they were subject, but I don't know that I agree with that. And I'd like to get that decided before I start writing things down. So.
Okay. I will get you an answer today. Okay.
Now these are
I'll send it to everybody.
are our personal notes, the things that we record to help us discuss the matter. So.
Right.
I'd like to have that decision to all of us so that we know what to include in our notes.
Very good question.
Justice, I know that while you were off of the Zoom, Chip had a question regarding Jana. If she did happen to be absent from the interviews, could she send in questions for the other commission members to ask on her behalf?
Sure. I mean, really, the public can send in questions. We can decide whether or not to ask them, but absolutely. Okay, that was a good question, Chip. Anything else? Chip has another question.
No, I have confirmed the community room at the courthouse at Newton for September 10th all day.
Thank you.
Okay. Wow. Okay, can I give you more things to do because you're really efficient? I need to get school supplies for my son. Can you get that done while we're on the call? No, I'm just kidding.
There are others that may not tell you something different.
Yes.
Okay. And of course, we'll provide lunch that day. So. Okay. Well, with that, I think we're adjourned. Thank you, everyone. I'm sorry it was so hard to get this scheduled, but we got it done. And I appreciate it, and I look forward to working with you. And thanks for being so flexible with me, as it's my first time and my internet went out. So,
Hey, Shelby.
Yes.
My contact at the admin office of our commission is Veri, Veri, Stroud, STROUD, 316-284-6806. And just work with her and she'll help you whatever you need to set up, coffee, lunch arrangements, recommendations.
Perfect.
That's our
Thank you for
go-to
that
gal.
info.
Every courthouse has got one.
Thank you.
All right, you ready to sign off?
Thank
All right,
you.
everybody, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Roger.